Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to this recap we have going on. And this recap is for the weekend. So, and we're getting really close to the Christmas holiday. So I would say watch out this week. I mean, yeah, be careful as you get into Christmas. So probably in the next 2 days or so, Monday, Tuesday, definitely might not be too bad, right? Still things going on, but as you come into the next week, especially the week between Christmas and New Year's, be really careful. Really know what you're doing. If you haven't really traded a whole lot, it's a great week to just take off, relax. Uh, a lot of horror stories happen during that time, just because the markets, the behavior, the typical TA, the typical levels that you draw, everything that we always talk about. Almost everybody is going to have breakage during that time. Things just kind of go relax. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the market recap for you and set some key levels and dig some stuff down. So here is the charts right now. Of course, this is already in Monday's live action. You can see that it started. So we're a little delayed on the recap, but it doesn't matter. To be honest, because we're always analyzing data. We're not doing live trading. That's never our goal here with the Kabroda. Our goal is to help you learn how to use these tools and then how to build take action in them. And we're building it to where it's a full, simple, automated type system. You can see the indicators here on my charts that are kind of telling us the breakout levels and the triggers. We are building what we've been talking about. Our goal is to probably have it out in January to be available, but we're trying to make it about as easy as it can get. Now, a lot of people have asked, hey, is it going to help me find trades, meaning that it's going to tell me the levels and where to enter? No. If you run into anybody that's kind of giving you that pitch, be careful. There isn't ever a red light, green light style trading, right? Like the light goes on the charts that are green and it's time to buy, and when it gets red, it's time to sell, whatever. That's a no-no. Typically, there is programs out there that if you want to, you can buy into, and they'll give you trades, but that's not the goal here. The goal is to actually help you learn how to fish. So think about it. If we all went out on the boat together, what we're doing is helping you go out and fish and catch stuff, right? So you're going to get trades. But we're also going to teach you how to tie the hooks on the line, right? How to bait the hooks, how to actually operate the whole reel, how to look at the water, all that kind of stuff in fishing, just using this efficient analogy. That's the idea of what we're trying to do. And then the idea is eventually you'll be able to just take the boat out whenever you want if you feel like it. You just know what time of day to take it out, you know the sections to go, you know what's going on, you know what bait to use, you know what kind of poles you need to use, what line test you want to use, all that good stuff in fishing. You'll know how to do because you've hung out on the boat. The difference is what we're creating over other people that you've probably heard is we're not just giving you, we're not standing on the shore and just talking. So that's the idea, is to get you in the boat and we're going to help you fish. But the other thing is when I was talking about just a red light, green light, or somebody that's just feeding you trades, the downfall with that is they're the ones that are actually going to go out and fish, and they show back up and you're there with your bucket and they hand you the fish. That doesn't help you, because if I don't go out and fish for you that day, then you don't have you may go hungry for a while. So we don't want to avoid that. We want to teach you how to do both. So the one thing we're trying to do also, though, is make this a little bit easier so you can start to learn on how to read price action and go back. That's why you see us talking about these levels and triggers, and we'll do that and help you set the levels up. But as you start to learn how to read the charts, you'll realize that all these levels are looking at what's going on in the charts and why these levels are set. You'll start to learn that stuff as you start to work with this. So that's kind of the idea, is really when you go fishing, doesn't really matter what the test of the line is. It depends on what kind of fish you're catching, but really in the end, just get the line in the water and start fishing. And really just somebody needs to tell you like, hey, go fish over there and use this bait and let's go catch some fish. That's kind of what you're really looking for. And then at least you're having fun. You're starting to learn. You're getting the feel of everything. So that's kind of what we're building here. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the weekend price action real quick, and then let's go ahead and get into the trading week and kind of see what we can find as we get closer to Christmas. So as we went into Friday right here, when I'm doing a weekend recap, you always find that a lot of times price action kind of stays where Friday started. So the trend for Friday, the trend on Friday was up. So we were running up, and I kind of wanted to put this on here and show you because hopefully it brings you a little bit of clarity. Is because back here, we're really locked in on this key area somewhere right in here. You can see that through the weekend, it played right through here. Started to get some energy here into Sunday morning that I have marked right here. But really, you could say, okay, well, where are we going to go? And this was the breakout behavior right here. So you could say, hey, that's the area that we're going to go. And I'm just going to draw this on in here so you can see it a little better. Because what I'm showing you is here's Friday coming up, the weekend, dead, not a lot going on. And then did the Friday trend continue? So I know a lot of people were saying, hey, the market's going to roll over here on Sunday. And it tried to. It tested the lower areas, and that's where you got this energy. But really, it was just kind of continuing the other energy here in that space. And if you're following your 200, really, there's your 200 behavior right here in that longer stretch of time. But if you kind of snapped out that weekend and went and moved them together, you would really find that a lot of this right here was really right back through here. And this breakout that you saw here would have been broken out here, back tested, which it basically did right here. And then we're off to the races. And that's, in Sunday evening, and it ran on up, and now we're kind of rolling back over. But if you see this line up here and you're going, how'd you find that target? Well, you watched me do it. So you watched me chart out that Friday behavior here. So this right here was Thursday morning, the lower low area. You did see it kind of set up this structure right here. You had the first dip, and then it made the bottom, made the dip back, which was higher low. That was a typical reset, but then you're waiting for it to get above your key areas, which is your 21 and your 200, right? We're on the 15-minute. Got above. This is back on Thursday evening. Then it back tested here. This was the first run up. This is when everybody said it was going to go up and go somewhere, which it could have. But we got into Friday, and we were really kind of just sat sideways. We get into the weekend and low energy. But this trend here was a continuation of this trend here, and that's exactly what just happened. And there we go, right all the way up to here. And now you have the first run right here, which is the opposite of right here, right? You have this here, then the lower low, and then the higher low. We're seeing that structure being created again. You had the run up. There was your first the higher low now, but it was a higher high. Then you created the higher high, and then here's your higher low. It's starting to stair stack down. But for me, again, we're in between the 200 and the 21. This is current price action here on Monday in the morning, and you're going, okay, let's jump into this trade. And I'm going to say no way because you're neutral. This is what I'm talking about, going out and fishing in the boat. I set these key levels on here, so you and I are on the boat, and I'm giving you the pole, I'm rigging it for you idea. So you can decide what you want to do, but if you're saying, hey, I want to learn how to trade, this is learning how to trade, but you could still be successful during this time. So you can still catch fish during this time. Here is this purple line right here on my charts. This is where our tool would give you these levels. You don't have to do a whole lot. To kind of open this up a little bit, you just go into the settings, you drop the levels that our system would generate, which there's some mathematical equations behind it, right? Some levels, which we've talked about before, but not to bore you, you'd paste those in here, hit the OK button, and it'll just draw it on the chart. Again, let's actually just jump in there real quick, and I'm going to take these key levels out and you can see that it's off the charts. You don't know what's going on. If I turned off our high time frame areas, now you don't know what's going on, right? So this is just you out there floating in the boat wondering what to do. And we're trying to help you learn how to trade. Now, eventually you'll be able to understand how to write those lines on there. But let's go ahead and start making this clean again for you, so you kind of know what you should or shouldn't do. So you're setting parameters around, but yet you can still be successful. So now that all that's back, so now you're going, okay, well, what should I be doing at this point? Well, I drew the 200 on here, just kind of it's coming up, and I drew the 21s coming down. But right now you're neutral. You need to get underneath. If we're going to go short here, we need to get underneath the 21 or the 21 and the 200. The other thing is we need to break down on this breakout area. So before we can get excited and say, hey, it's time to get a fish on, these are some key things that want to protect you. And so for ease, you're going to basically, all you're saying is, okay, well, I want to be below these two moving averages, the 221. Let's make it easy. And once I get below those, and if I break down below this purple line, which is actually the breakout trigger, and that's the area on the market that is showing you that it could be a support line. We need to flip it into resistance. So it's supporting the chart right now. So we want to close below and then two candles. So you'll have the close below. It's trying to do that twice. It's actually wigged through this, but this is why you don't jump into a trade. This is kind of the catching a falling knife idea. So it's starting to break down right here. And once you get the second close, so this will be, if it actually closed right now, that's just confirmation. Then you get the next 15 minute needs to close, and the second 15 minute needs to close, and now you are going into the 5 minute for an entry, which is, I'm not going to get into that too much, but I do on all my recaps. I'm constantly talking about this simplicity. If you're below, if this 200 gets up in here and that happens, what we're talking about, then you could actually say, okay, I'm going to look at getting a trade. The nice thing is these levels are on your charts for stops. So you could easily put a stop back up here in that 30-minute bar. You could put it right above the breakdown area. Just depends what's going on, where that price action is. And then from here, you get to run it out to certain levels. Well, these areas out here are strong liquidity areas. The other thing is you do have, we talked about this, but you can work with these levels as well, or the ease is the 5 minute 21. So if it breaks, like right here, if it broke above this area, like this was your short, you got in, it came back up right here, you would just get out. And yes, I know sometimes people will tell me like, hey, you know, I made all my money here, and right back here I went back to zero basically where I entered. That's trading. The biggest goal though is to protect you. So say if you were fishing with $100 lure, you cast it out there, would you rather have the fish get off the hook and off that lure and you reel the lure back in and you could keep casting? Or would you rather have it snap that thing off every time? It gets expensive to constantly replace lures. So for me, I would rather say, hey, I'd rather go back out and fish, because eventually you're going to get into that trade where it actually starts to move and puts profit in your pocket. So that is the point, and that's why we're putting these hard stops on here and really helping you out, because you can be successful while you're learning how to read charts. Why? Because everybody out there too will tell you, hey, you know, it's taken me the last 14 years to learn how to read price action, or the last 5 years, or whatever it is. Everybody's always telling you eventually your eye will be trained. There's truth in that. I will not disagree with that. But the one thing I will say in this, and for you to pay attention to and think about, is that costs them money to learn that. So let's build a system where it's very easy. If this happens, then you do this. If that happens, then you do this. That's really what we're creating. We're not creating the behavior of, well, if this is like this, and if that's like this, and you have a bull flag here, a bear flag there, an M pattern, a cat ears. There's a lot of stuff out there, right? I'm putting a lot of terms out. And that's stuff you don't need to worry about so much. That's you specializing what you want to do and really learn how to trade. And that's where you're really going to move yourself into a trader's role. But the hard part is there's not a lot out there that I have found in this that doesn't give you that. It doesn't help you get ready to go. It's the guy talking on the shoreline constantly, and either talking and feeding you fish, and then he disappears. But supposedly you think you're set up to go out and fish, and then you go out there and you realize that you don't understand how to actually read the price action. you don't know what an M pattern really is, or what a bull flag really is, or are we in a bearish trend or in a bullish, because you never really had a simple system to start really trading into. And that's really what we're creating here. It's not telling you to go take the trade, it's teaching you how to read the levels and take action in them. So in this case, we're back on that 15-minute. It's very clear. If it breaks down here, you get the confirmation close and then 2 candle closes, and then you get to go into the 5-minute. And we talk about how to train your eye on looking at indicators that are down here that I had removed here, but we have indicators down here that we're going to look at. We're going to have confirmation to get into this trade. This is why I'm not getting in either right now, because it's not confirmed anything, right? So that's how we're going to really show and teach you. And that's really what our system that we're developing here for you is. A lot of people said they're confused on reading the charts. You guys talk about having to set things up. I'm bored because I want to trade. I don't disagree with you, but learning these core components are really the 101. You learn how to do the math through the steps, right? You don't just go straight to algebra when you really don't know how to do the simple things like add, subtract, multiplications. Those are stair-step ideas. In that process, as you're learning those things, so those are being put into use cases. You understand why 2 + 2 is 4 and how does it utilize and what you can do with it. So that is the key component here. Is we're not just saying, hey, you know what? Eventually you'll learn how to do that math, or eventually you'll learn how to read that other language. Just go hang out with a bunch of people that speak another language. Eventually you'll figure it out. Yeah, you probably will eventually. But talk about the frustrations that you're going to be in trying to learn that language when you could have probably went to a class and learned the basics behind that language, how to actually look and read that language. And learn the 101, 102, and get some base there. Then you go out and maybe hang out with people to really push you and put you in that pressure environment to really speak that language. So that's kind of what we're creating here. I know I've talked a little bit more about what we're doing and why, but I really want to drive that home because of some of the conversations that have been going on and comments based on that. So obviously we're going to push a little bit away from that. So like in our live streams and stuff, we're not going to spend so much time building these levels and why. So we'll start showing you, interaction and what we're going to wait for and what we're looking for that day. Same thing on my recaps. I'll just start spending more time on looking at the trades because I'm not going to get into the value of the levels. But that's kind of the direction that we've kind of heard. So we'll talk about it a little bit and why we put things on here and how to utilize them. But yeah, if you're just saying, hey, I just want the levels on the chart and what do I do? And the levels are there. That's what we're doing. But we're still going to end up teaching you how to trade in the charts. We'll definitely never say enter the trade here and do this here and do that there on a live. I'd rather have you come to me and say, hey, I'm looking at doing, hey, I noticed a bull flag. Hey, I realized that we were in. And that's what we're looking for. So that is about it, guys. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. There's definitely some teaching and some knowledge here that I could put into this right now, but let's go ahead and end this for you. But be careful this week. Like I said, you are coming into that Christmas season and things are weird, so be careful. But I'll let you guys go. Have a great week and a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next recap. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.